That's how Selena Gomez summed up the emotional wreckage left behind after her breakup with Justin Bieber. And if you followed their story over the years, you know that wasn't just a throwaway comment. Their relationship wasn't your average teenage fling. It was a roller coaster full of passion, public drama, and constant ups and downs that played out under the scrutiny of millions. Selena recently opened up about just how hard that chapter of her life was behind the fame and the headlines. She was quietly suffering. She admitted that the breakup left her feeling lost and broken, struggling to hold herself together while the world watched and speculated. It wasn't just about heartbreak. It affected her self-worth, her mental health, and her ability to trust again. She's always been pretty private about her personal life, especially when it comes to Justin, but now she's peeling back the curtain. And what she's sharing is raw, real, and incredibly painful. This wasn't just a breakup, it was a long, complicated relationship that left deep emotional scars. But before we get into it, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to never miss out on any new videos. It's free and helps us tremendously bring out new content for your enjoyment. Selena and Justin weren't just a teen couple, they were the couple from the outside. It looked like a fairy tale, but behind the scenes it was way more complicated than anyone knew. Their relationship dragged on for nearly 8 years, full of breakups, makeups, and everything in between. 1 week, they were being photographed holding hands like nothing could come between them, and the next they were unfollowing each other on Instagram and throwing what looked like serious shade online. It wasn't just messy, it was emotionally exhausting. Specifically for Selena, the relationship was constantly in the spotlight, and every fight or reunion became front page news. Fans were invested, and the media never stopped watching. And then came rumors, including one in 2019, that really blew up after Taylor Swift liked a cryptic post that seemed to hint Justin may have cheated on Selena. Fans went into full investigation mode. Convin said there was way more to the story than either of them ever admitted then. In what felt like the blink of an eye, Justin moved on. He married Hailey Baldwin in September 2018, just months after he and Selena had seemingly rekindled things again. For many fans, it felt like emotional whiplash. Some were happy for him, others were confused, and a lot of people wondered how Selena was coping. From the outside, it looked like the final chapter of their long, chaotic love story. But even after the wedding, things didn't really settle down. Both Justin and Selena kept referencing each other in their music. Every time a new song dropped, fans would pore over the lyrics, searching for clues about their past. Interviews added even more fuel to the fire. They never named each other directly, but the subtext was often very obvious. Even in 2021, fans were convinced that Selena was still singing about Justin in songs like Lose You to Love Me and Look at Her Now. And honestly, they might bear it. Their relationship left a mark not just on them, but on pop culture as a whole. It wasn't just a breakup, it became a whole era, one that, for better or worse, still seems to echo years later. But Selena Gomez is finally in a good place when it comes to love, but getting there wasn't easy. On a recent episode of Theatable Manners podcast, released on April 9, Selena opened up about the emotional gap between her breakup with Justin Bieber and finding love again with her fiancé Benny Blanco. And in true Selena fashion, she kept it real. It hadn't liked anyone in a very long time, she admitted, explaining just how hard it was to connect with someone after everything she'd been through. That chapter after Justin wasn't just quiet, it was lonely. She described years off, going on the occasional date here and there, but nothing ever stuck. And worse, nothing ever felt right. Then came Benny. When they shared their first kiss, Selena said it felt completely different from anything she'd experienced in years. Some kisses are for fun, she said, and then when you feel something behind a kiss, it's completely different and fans love it. One person wrote on X, "I don't want a toxic Justin Bieber, I want a nurturing Benny Blanco." It wasn't just romantic, it was emotional, even a little overwhelming. After spending nearly 5 years mostly on her own, trying to figure out who she was and what she wanted, the moment caught her off guard. "I was a little embarrassed," she said, referring to how unfamiliar and vulnerable that feeling had become for someone who spent so much of her life in the spotlight, especially during her turbulent relationship with Justin Bieber. Selena about loneliness and her discovering love is refreshingly down to earth, but she's done hiding it now. Gomez didn't hold back when she sat down with Amy Schumer for a raw, honest conversation in Interview magazine, reflecting on the 8 roller coaster years she spent in a relationship with Justin Bieber. Selena admitted that during that time her life felt completely out of control. Everything from her emotions to her public image just started slipping out of her hands. "My intention was never to become a tabloid," she explained, "so when things kind of happened that way, it got out of controls." He talked about how it felt watching her personal life get twisted into clickbait, often exaggerated by the media and misunderstood by the public. "I was like, wait, none of this is true," she said. "The way the media has submitted mystery to explain things has made it sound really bad, when in reality there's nothing wrong with the fact that it needed to go away or that I fell in love." In one of her most vulnerable interviews to date, Selena Gomez opened up to NPR about a deeply personal and painful truth she experienced emotional abuse during her on and off relationship with Justin Bieber. Selena didn't name names at first, but when asked directly if the abuse she referenced was emotional, she didn't hesitate to say yes, he found the strength in it. She explained, "It's dangerous to stay in a victim mentality, and I'm not being disrespectful. I do feel I was a victim to certain abuse, yes, and I think that it's something that I had to find a way to understand it as an adult," Gomez said. "As much as I definitely don't want to spend the rest of my life talking about this, I am really proud that I can say I feel the strongest I've ever felt. And I found a way to just walk through it with as much grace as possible for fans who followed their relationship over the years." The breakups, the makeups, the whirlwind headlines, her words hit hard. It wasn't just a messy love story. It was a relationship that left emotional scars, but even in talking about the pain, Selena stayed focused on the healing. She wasn't looking for pity or trying to reopen old wounds. She was just telling her truth, and in doing so she made it clear that recognizing the abuse wasn't about holding on to the past but about breaking free from it. And we know she's not lying about it all being toxic, because JB himself admitted to it in an interview. He said, "I think I was just hurt from my previous relationship." Headed when Lowe asked why he felt he behaved that way, "I think I still was dealing with a lot of unforgiveness, sick, and all that sort of stuff. So to be honest, I don't think I even knew what I was really struggling with at the time. I didn't think I knew I was dealing with unforgiveness." One person wrote on X, "Justin Bieber just admitted that he basically treated Selena like trash, so can y'all finally admit that he was the toxic one of that relationship?" Justin Bieber hasn't directly responded to Selena's interview or her comments about emotional abuse, but he's been open about his own struggles in recent years. In a raw Instagram post back in September, Justin reflected on the darker parts of his past, including how fame, pressure, and poor choices affected the way he treated people, especially in relationships. "I started doing heavy drugs at 19 and abused all my relationships," he confessed, pointing to a time in his life when he was spiraling under the weight of fame. "I became resentful, disrespectful to women, and angry." He wrote, "It was a rare moment of vulnerability from the pop star, who admitted that it's taken him years to recognize and unlearn the toxic behavior he once normalized." He described it as a painful ongoing process, one that's required a lot of reflection, faith, and accountability. While he didn't mention Selena by name, the timing and tone of the post made it clear that he was referring, at least in part, to the damage done during their time together. "It seems both of them in their own way have had to heal from a relationship that shaped them for better and for worse." So what do you think? Comment down below and let us know if you liked this video. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities. New videos, it's free and helps us tremendously bring out new content for your enjoyment. Selena and Justin weren't just a teen couple, they were the couple from the outside. It looked like a fairy tale, but behind the scenes it was way more complicated than anyone knew. Their relationship dragged on for nearly 8 years, full of breakups, makeups, and everything in between. One week they were being photographed holding hands like nothing could come between them, and the next they were unfollowing each other on Instagram and throwing what looked like serious shade online. It wasn't just messy, it was emotionally exhausting. Just quickly for Selena, the relationship was constantly in the spotlight, and every fight or reunion became front page news. Fans were invested, and the media never stopped watching. And then came rumors, including one in 2019, that really blew up after Taylor Swift liked a cryptic post that seemed to hint Justin may have cheated on Selena. Fans went into full investigation mode. Convin said there was way more to the story than either of them ever admitted then. In what felt like the blink of an eye, Justin moved